Hello, everybody. This is Merle Rutledge again. Let me first get this out the way. God is good all the time. Once again, I repeat that God is good all the time. Now, while I randomly select which groups which will be a part of this Facebook Live, this is going to be one of the most important, one of the most vicious. I want people to know our governor is still an idiot, our governor is still a moron, and our governor doesn't deserve the respect that is due. Now, that's common sense given the fact of what we all have been through the last couple of months. Now we are seeing a bunch of more craziness that's going on across America. We are seeing a lot more tyrants abusing their power and trying to use COVID for their own agenda, which has nothing to do with people's health, but everything to do with consuming power and bringing in a socialist state. And you know, in America, we don't believe in none of that crap. Now, this Sunday is not about a debate. The Sunday is a pro-Trump rally. But now we are faced before this rally with the announcement on August 18th that a special session has been called at the state capitol. And at this state capitol, they are planning on taking more action on gun control. Yes, I said it, people. They plan on taking more action and applying more gun control to the very laws that some politicians said was killed, some politicians said it was dead, and it's been alive and well and burning for the right time, and they feel now is the right time. So that kind of lets me know, people, what they really all about. Now, before I even did this Facebook Live, people, I was watching Don Lemon. Yes, I was watching Don Lemon. I'll repeat that. I was watching that SOB, that POS, Don Lemon. Now, Don Lemon wants to go ahead and say, well, Trump should have used this power to get people to wear masks. Said, the mask is not handcuffs. The mask is not taking away your life. The mask is there to protect your life. And I said to myself, well, jackass, you on the TV and I don't see you wear a mask. So all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe the jackass that's on TV talking about I should wear a mask and his ass ain't wearing a mask either. But one of the things he had to admit to, which we all knew because we are Trump supporters, we are pro-Trump, we are Republican, we are conservative, we ain't stupid. And what he had to admit, I know it was hurting his jaws, I know it was hurting his heart and spirit to say in this country, America loves President Trump being their president of the United States of America. And I say, oh hell yeah. Now, let's get to the point here. Y'all know my motto. My motto is clear. It says a man or woman's gun is their business. And that's exactly how I preach. That's exactly how I live. And that's exactly how I plan to govern. I'm a stand your ground, castle doctrine, state recognized gun, and of course a constitutional carry type of governor when I get elected in November of next year. Because business is going to pick up. There's not going to be the same usual gumption at the state capitol that they're used to. I'm not there for that. I'm there to be governor of Virginia, be governor of a state that has been left behind by Democrats that have decided that their duty is to take away from our freedoms, our traditions. everything that makes Virginia, Virginia, and that means don't tread on me. Now, we are at war, people. There's no doubt about it. Now they're coming with everything that they got. They are loading up. They are getting their splinter groups together. They are making sure the message is clear that we are going to do anything and everything in our power to abuse our power. Now, I know they are pissed off with me because I let the secret out of the bag last Thursday or Friday when they was all excited and jumping up talking about tax returns because they felt it was another victory, until I let them know the hypocrisy of that victory will come back to them. Now you don't see it all over the press. You got to think about this, people. They are paying attention to every single Republican that is running for state leadership, and you got to damn well be sure that they are paying attention to my ass, because they're saying he's always right. He's always telling the liberal media to kiss his ass, and he is a badass Republican that nobody has seen do it like him before. Get the base fired up in ways that hasn't been done before here in Virginia. And he ain't taking nothing off of nobody. He's going where he wants. He's saying exactly what he plans to do. And he ain't giving a damn about the establishments. He ain't giving a damn about Democrats. And he damn sure ain't giving a damn about those destroying this country. His language is foul. He's a tough SOB. He's from the country, and he has a little bit of city in him. He's from an area that says exactly, we call bullshit bullshit. That's what we do. That's the Virginia exact way. That's what comes from us country boys. Now, I know there's a lot of people getting fired up. Now, people are wondering, what am I going to do with my guns? And what will happen to me if these laws are going to pass? Because I don't plan to comply. I don't plan on anybody taking my gun out my hand unless I'm dead, cold, underneath the ground, buried, and I ain't coming back. That's exactly what a patriot is supposed to do. It is supposed to recognize when the government has went too far. That's why we have a well-armed militia. But I'm talking to all of those in 2A, all of those Republicans, all of those conservatives, and many more. I'm saying to time, if you have guns, it's time to get more ammunition. If you got regular guns, it's time to get bigger, meaner, and nastier guns. If you already locked and loaded, it's time for you to be standing guard for this country and its freedoms from all enemies, foreign or domestic. We do not give out white flags of surrender to any terrorists, and our biggest terrorists are those lawmakers in Richmond. Let's get this straight, people. I've been telling you this before. All the smoke and mirrors, all the liberal media trying to point our attention in the wrong direction. We should have had our eye on them SOBs at the state capitol, those in the DC swamp that is making the policy that is all pissing us off. Now, I don't plan to be nice. I don't plan on being the Mr. Nice Guy. That day is over with. I've been told you, I've been taking the gloves off and don't care how those softies and those milkshakes and those rhinos feel about it. That's exactly what I want Republicans to feel like. I want the Tea Party to feel the same exact way. I want the 3%ers to feel exactly the same way. I want Qs to feel exactly the same way. Because realistically, we are all in this together as America. As Virginia citizens, we must fight back. Now, I'm telling you, people, this ain't going to be easy. because they already plan exactly if we can mash them up, we can take their gun. If we can go ahead and tell them to stay at home, we could go in their homes and take their gun. If we can tell them how to live their life and do exactly our socialist agenda, then we could damn sure go in their house, take their gun, and make sure socialism and that contract is signed by each and every one of them. Well, the first thing I want to tell you, you can come to my house, but you may not make it out my house. I can tell you that. And that's because we don't believe in you, the government that's corrupt, telling law-abiding citizens how we are going to behave, how we are going to take care of our family, how we are going to defend our country, because be damned if we let y'all do it. See, while I'm trying to get across, see, Black America is worried about the racism. White America is worried about the reverse racism. Liberal media is worried about making sure we fight it out and have another civil war. That civil war already happened. That civil war had men and women from all different walks of life lose their life for our more perfect union, for us to keep our freedoms. And what was the definition and the conclusion of the day? Do not allow the government to run wild on you. It is your call, each and every one of you, to decide on enough is enough. It's one thing to pose and look good while you're holding your gun. It's another thing to be ready for battle when the posing and the photo ops is over. See, that's the difference between patriots and politicians. Now, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee real quick, because you know how I get. We have been silent for too long. Those who have been out there, their voices have been heard, but overshadowed by the anger that's not really being directed at us. It's being directed at those politicians that they are misinformed and misguided on, that controls their life, from local governments all the way to state governments and the federal government. God bless President Trump for making sure we stay out of the state's business, but be damned as a state continues to get in ours, and be damned as a state abuses their authority that we see going on all across this country. There must be a check and balance. But at the same time frame, I want to bounce that check right up Governor Northam's ass. So this is what I'm telling people. Those who are looking for the right type of leadership, don't go for a politician. See, they work for the government. Their job, whether it's local or state, is to protect the government no matter how corrupt they are. This is why when they have an opportunity to speak up for us citizens, they are still being held to the non-disclosure agreements, which hinders them for speaking up for us unless it's politically convenient, not whether it's right or wrong. This happens in local governments, state governments, and more all across this country, where their attorneys are the ones telling them, you may be a politician, but you still work for us. You got to remember, the government is there to protect government. I'm part of the American people, and I'm a Virginia citizen, and I'm here to protect the people in America and the citizens in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. I don't give a damn about the local government or state government. I don't. A lot of y'all need to be teaching your kids, if you haven't started the training, on being locked and loaded and being prepared. That's what our country has came to. And when what used to be a tradition has become a threat to the government, that has let you know that the government is planning something far massive than just taking away our freedoms. They're killing those who are opposed to what they're doing. Why do you think our nursing homes is being taken out? Because they are saying the history that's in those nursing homes need to go. What they know and can tell Americans all across through normal traditions and stories through their golden years, those golden years are golden because it's what is left of us to fight for America. It's not unintentional. You put it together. How in the hell you go from saving lives to taking our guns and making us vulnerable to criminals? Can you tell me that? How can you go from us needing vaccines to now having policies that says that Virginia and the rest of the states are not going bankrupt? It's not hard to put it together, because at this time frame they're saying America is going to explode if they find out the truth. America's been patient, but patience only can go but so far. As many of our great leaders from the past, they had always said that we must free each other, and it starts with us. We are what stands between how our government officials dictate to us and how we respond back to dictatorship. See, I don't mind that cross to bear, because I have already seen the mountaintop. Now, in the great words of Martin Luther King Jr., and this may be something you need to say to your families, we may not get there, each and every one of us, to see the glory that's left behind through our blood, sweat, and tears. But we know that there's one thing that we all know. Our God is good all the time. Our country always fights back against these tyrants. And we always win, because freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right. Now, I can't play no games with people no more. I'm too old. I can do what I can do, just like so many fellow patriots. I can live on my knees, or I can stand on my feet, because my family means more. America means more. My neighbors and those who are looking for guidance and truth, understanding through the clouds that they call politicians keep gray and dark. They don't want you to see the light. They don't want you to see the sun. That's because that's what they're afraid of. But we can't be afraid no more. That time is dead. Now, we can wait for the government to come in and take us out each time we speak out. Why do you think they're trying to take away all these constitutional rights? Why do you think they're trying to take away the Constitution? Why do you think these liberals is trying to take away the Bible? Why do you think they're trying to take away the church? Why do you think they're doing that? They don't want us to believe. They don't want us to have a reason to fight that says that we will not give up. We will not go down without a fight. And that's what they want. They don't want to fight. See, they wasn't built like that. See, those who came up during my time, you wasn't going to do bullshit like this. You wasn't going to have America like this. And you know why? Because they was patriots. They fought for everything. They got beaten, slaughtered. They watched people die, whether it was on the battlefield or here fighting for our freedoms here in America. They owed this country more than the country owed them. Because to them, they believed that we are all to be treated equally. And we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights and freedoms. We all fought here for every inch. Whether it was against slavery, whether it was for our right to vote, whether it was for our right to be accepted for who we are and what we believe in, to practice our faith, to give our children and those before us, to make our ancestors proud, and to know that our children will share in the American dream and the pursuit of happiness, and understand that the cost of life and liberty sometimes is death. But rather die for your country and die for what you believe in than to live and give it all up and be here to see it and know that you was a coward. We cannot bow down anymore. As our flag burns and the winds take away our ashes that's left behind, we can let that flag burn. They can dump it in the urn and throw it into the ocean. Or we could bring in a bigger and better flag that still represents our freedom and plant it where they tried to burn it down. And let them know America isn't going anywhere. Because what you do is temporary. But we must put a stake in making sure that our rights cannot be infringed on any further, and fight back for the rights that have been taken away. See, the call for patriots is different today. A lot of our generals, those who fought, are in those nursing homes. What their eyes have seen when they was able to walk and able to tell their story of those fallen and how they had to survive and live in America the way it was compared to today. America doesn't look the same. It looks much different. Where people was getting along, now America is more divided than ever. But I want to know, and we all need to know, America isn't divided. It's the politicians dividing us. So it's time for us to fight back for America. It's time to lock and load for America. Because God has already blessed America. We need to stand on faith and do it with works. not stand on cowards and do it from fear. We are taking America back, patriots. We are doing the fight that they are trying to take away from us from even having. Because if we don't fight, if we give up, then look at America now, it's going to be America forever. So, fellow patriots, lock and load, and let's get our country back.